But I do a kind of fun video today. I mean, wearing my hat because I was wearing it earlier, and I got a new choker. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's skulls. It's got this cute little bell. Maybe I should do like a ASMR of the bell. It's a lot of like I keep doing this. my 11-year-old's like, Mom, stop. Like, yeah, anyway, I went to an event with my boys today and kind of needed to get out of the house and just unwind. I was able to get some funds recently, and so yeah, and I had to go get my oil change first because that was definitely needed. It was, like, popped up, and I was like, okay, I better go do that. I was complimented really well, actually, having green across the board for all my stuff because I went to them almost a year ago and got a whole bunch of stuff done that needed to get done. But yeah, in the almost year since then, they're like, "Wow, you're green across the board. The only time we see this is if like a car has like 3,000 miles on it or something like that, or less." And I've got over 30,000. Um, I've had it for almost 6 years. I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything, um, but yeah, so they're complimenting me with that, and then they saw my Deadpool hat, and they're just like, "Yeah, gotta show love for a pansexual hero, woo!" And I was like, "Aw, I love you guys." I have a really nice Valvoline team close to where I'm at, so they're really cool, very very nice. They're really nice. They and great service. Of course, the boys were just like, "Oh, can we go yet? Can we go yet? Can we go yet?" And like, at least they had their tablets. I was like, "Yeah, when they're done, all they're doing is an oil change. It's not like last year where we were here for like an hour or more because I had to get a whole bunch of stuff done then." But anyway, so after the oil change, we went to an event and we just kind of roamed around. There was a bunch of shops and stuff, and so I wanted to show some of the cute things I got. I'm not going to show everything because I got some gifts for some people, like some of a couple of my sisters. So I was like, I'm not going to show those because I want to surprise them. But there's some cute stuff. So, for example, I found like the cute little sushi cat. You see that? I got a white one and a black one. Isn't that so cute? It's so adorable. And there was a Howl's Moving Castle. It's hard to see because it's all sparkly. But yeah, I love it. I love it. I love Howl's Moving Castle. I love both Hayao Miyazaki's version of it, and I love the book series so much. I love both of them equally. I'm one of those weird people that like. There are some things where I'm just like, I will love the book and movie version equally, and everyone's got their own opinions or preference or whatever. But I think both were just amazing. Um, I love buying little crochet things because like people like made this is handmade. This was not like a factory thing. So I love buying from crochet shops and stuff like that. So I saw this really cute little octopus with little beady eyes. This is Celeste. She's so cute. And then the baby dragon. The baby dragon. Gosh. Isn't he so cute? I have no idea what to name him. Look at him. He's so adorable. It was like $5. I'm like, yes, I'm getting this for myself. And then we went to Walmart afterwards because 7-year-old was like, so I gave like $20 to each of my kids. Like, here, you can buy whatever within $20. Which another event, my youngest like basically got like he bought a lot of stuff. Oh, I forgot. I already put it downstairs. I got like this big like beaded magnet that was Deadpool. That's on my fridge downstairs. There was an even bigger one that I really wanted. It had him with his arms crossed and had like the swords and stuff. That one was quite a bit more expensive though, and I was like, "Ugh, I can't afford that one." But I found one that's like this big, like almost the size of my face. Much cheaper. Not as much detail, but still you can tell it's Deadpool. So that's on my fridge downstairs. But yeah, so I gave like the $20 to kiddo, like each, and so they could, spend it on whatever on any of the shops. My oldest, like, he got a couple things, and then he really wanted, like, when we went to the shop that had like a bunch of the dragons and stuff, he found a dragon one that he really loved, and so basically I made a deal with him where he had some leftover money still from, he bought something, and he's like, "Can I please get this?" And I was like, "If you give me your leftover money, I will pay the difference so you can have the thing or whatever." And so so that was me spoiling him a little bit. Um, but youngest decided, no, I don't want to spend my $20 on any of this stuff here. I want to go to Walmart. I'm like, okay, all right. I mean, that's the money you want to spend at Walmart. As soon as we get there, because he wouldn't tell me what he wanted. He's just like, I need to go to Walmart to get the thing that I want. I'm like, okay. So we get there. It's Legos, of course. So he got something that was around $20. So since I was paying with card for, a couple of the other items, I still had the cash that my oldest had given me. And then I pay the difference for the dragon because I've, used my card. So I helped with the tax for youngest when he was buying the Legos. Um but now, and he's building it right now. So yeah. We did have some food while there. I was able to go to a shop that had Thai milk tea boba, and it was really good. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Um, and it reminded me of like how many times friends and I from college, from community college, would go to different places. And I talked about this in one of my food videos a little bit, but I didn't really like talk too in depth with it because I was talking about a lot of stuff. Because I could talk about food forever. I could talk about food forever. I really love food. Um, I don't know why I never really called myself a foodie in the past, but I love food. I love trying food. Of course, I have certain preferences and certain, like, if it's within the realm of the taste and texture that I'm okay with, and if it's something that I'm not allergic to, because I do have some food allergies, then yeah, I definitely am totally down to try stuff. So yeah. Anyway, but like trying that new like boba tea, and it was like Thai milk tea, and I hadn't had Thai milk tea with boba before. So I was really excited that that was an option because it was like the classic like milk tea, and there wasn't like many flavoring options in the stall that I went to. Um, as soon as I saw Thai milk tea with boba, I was like, yes. And I happened to get the last one available, and I was like, yes. So I was really excited about that. Um, but it reminded me of how like this was a new thing that I was trying, and so in community college, um, so I did this with like three other friends. And we allowed, like, sometimes we'd have a couple other people join us, but it was mostly the four of us, like just like four musketeers or whatever. So we called it sushi hopping and tea hopping. And coffee and boba tea were different. Like, we didn't really call it hopping, but we'll be like, oh, we saw a new shop or we saw a new cafe, we want to try it out. So hopping meant that we would literally designate a day where we would like make an adventure out of it, and we go to a new sushi place or a new tea place. And by tea place, I mean those sit down kinds where you have to, like, you are buying a pot of tea, and like each person in the party gets like their own pot of tea, and you've got like the tiers for like the sandwiches and the desserts and stuff like that, like the sit down like tea place. Okay. And now, mind you, this is Southern California, so there were some options for us, and there was a couple options in Oahu, Hawaii when I was stationed there. So I'm just going to do a shout out at Tea at 1024. I don't know if they're still there, but when I was there, when I was stationed there from 2010 to 2014, that was my favorite place. So it was really delicious. I don't know if they're still there. Oh, I miss the steak plates there too. Steak plates on Oahu, like, oh, they're so amazing. They're the best. I'm like so sad that like stateside doesn't have it. Like, I'm sorry, but like if you ever go to Hawaii, steak plates are the best. They're just the best. Anyway, so what we do is we designate, like, we would pick a day to try a new place out. Um so when it came to tea, we usually would pick something that we would like, and then we might let others try, like we let others try it. So me, I definitely am more a floral, not much of a fruity kind of like person, or like decadent or chocolate or anything. Like I don't like too much sweet. Like I like more floral herbal kind of stuff for my kind of tea. Um, but there are times when one of the other friends would try like strawberry or something, or like a lemon something or whatever. So like they would pick something, and so I would try theirs. And or there's one time someone had peach with something else, and so um usually like I definitely enjoy like green tea, matcha. I also enjoy matcha, black teas. I'm not that big a fan of Earl Grey. I'm not. There's nothing like too against it. It's just not my thing. Definitely love chamomile. Definitely love anything with lavender. I love lavender. Now, if you put lavender with Earl Grey, I'm willing. I'm willing. But just Earl Grey by itself, I'm not big a fan. But but yeah, it's so like we do the sit down thing, and then we would basically we would all pay together, like we'd pool together. And so like we'd each get our own pot of tea, and we get like the tier thing with desserts and with the sandwiches and stuff. And so we'd make sure that we could each like try one if it was something that we would like. Um, and we did that at every like tea place. So we did it to a couple tea places. Now, if there wasn't like a sit down tea place, but if there was like a cafe with different teas that you could try, as well as coffee or any sort of other, cafe thing, we would go to those places too, and consider it like tea hopping, and also try pastries. Like we would be like, okay, this is my favorite. Like we would try the kind of flavors we would like, and then if we could, we would also try something new that we had never had before. So if it was a place that we gone to before, we go there again to have something new. If it's we've never been there before, we try something that we feel that we would like something, like a pastry that has like chocolate, or a pastry that has like strawberries, or marmalade, or whatever, or maybe a donut, or so like we would basically pick like our favorites, and then if we were able to go back, we would have a new one that we hadn't tried yet. So it was our way of kind of like trying new things and giving business, especially if it was like small business stuff. We were really into that. Of course, like if it was a dire emergency, I mean, maybe a Starbucks. Like, I worked at a Starbucks kiosk inside of Vons from like, was it 2006, 2007? Not a full year, but I was there until I injured myself really badly, and then I couldn't go back to work. Um, but yeah, I haven't gone to Starbucks in a very long time, very long time. Um, but it's like back then, early 2000s. So like I graduated high school in '04. So this is like '04 to like '08. Like this is like, 4-ish years of time frame before I signed up for the Navy and stuff. But even in the Navy, I still did this. I still continue this tradition of trying like different teas and different like boba and different flavors and stuff. And I would tell these friends, and I would tell them like, "Oh, I'm in this location and I tried this, and they have this kind of flavor, something that you used to like, or they have these flavors," and be like, if you ever visit, then you can try this out. So that's something that we would do. um or like, hey, you're traveling here, there's something that I always want to try, like I've heard about this, like have you gone to it or anything like that. One of my friends, Sarah, she travels a lot. She travels all over. I live vicariously through her in a lot of things. Like I am so excited every time she like posts stuff with her and her boyfriend, or just her herself, or her with other friends. Like I love seeing all, like she's a photographer, she's an artist, she's multi-talented, she's an author as well. Like she's done a lot. She's done a lot in her life. Um but yeah, it's like sometimes if she goes to a certain location, I'll be like, "Hey, I saw this online. Did you get to go there? Like this looks like something you would enjoy." Or, "Hey, was this really as like hyped up as it seemed?" Like it would be like a Final Fantasy thing because she loves Final Fantasy, and I'm just like, like I would ask questions like, "Oh, hey, I saw about this thing or whatever. Is that true?" And so I like tag her on Instagram or something. Um, but yeah, like we basically would go around and like try these different locations. And we would pick like something that we like specifically, and then we would try a new thing. The sushi one especially. So there is a lot of sushi places throughout Southern California. So we definitely would go to many different sushi places, and we'd always get our favorite type of sushi, and then we try a new thing. So mine is salmon sashimi. I love salmon sashimi so much. Last time I checked, Sarah's was tuna sashimi. It may have changed, I don't know, but that was the one that she always got every time we went when we were, younger and still in community college. I don't remember which one our friend Chris did. I don't remember. I can't remember. He tried a lot of different things. Like he didn't like I don't know if he really had a favorite. I'd have to ask him. Um because he was always the obscure one. He couldn't always make it. But when he could, like that definitely he was also the one with the car back then. So um but and Sarah eventually had a car too. Not me. I didn't get a car or my license until I was in the Navy because San Diego's got a great bus system. So I didn't, or I had friends that had a car. So it's like, hmm. But but yeah, so I don't remember which one our friend Chris had. But anyway, we would get our favorite one no matter what. We get our favorite one, and then we'd pick something that we hadn't had before. And this was at each location. And so it was our way of having our favorites, enjoying our favorite, but also trying something new. And so we went to a lot of sushi places. We also went to a lot of like sit down, like Japanese restaurants, um, pho, like we had pho often. We also had some Thai food. We would just honestly like we would just be like, oh, there's this hole in the wall place that we haven't tried yet. Um, Also, like anything that's like the street food, food trucks and stuff like that, if we were able to come across one, we would try that too. So, I mean, like, come on, Southern California and food trucks, it's just yeah. Um, if there was like a hole in the wall place for like tacos or something like that, like we would go there. So we would try lots of food places out, and pastries and stuff, but the biggest thing was like tea hopping and sushi hopping is what we called it. Like, oh, do you want to go and do some tea hopping soon, or do you want to do some sushi hopping? Like, hey, I've been craving this lately. Like, let's go do this. And like hopping is because we hop from one location to another. Sometimes, if we could, we get like maybe two locations in the same day. Like, we'd make a day of it. It would be like our day adventure. Um, but most of the time, we just focus on like this is location, especially if it was far away. So like there was a time when we went to like Long Beach. There was I think a couple in Orange County. And let's see, there was it? We went to LA a few times. Oh, what else? What else? I mean, definitely like San Diego and Mira Mesa and Del Mar. Like we went to a lot of places. Like we traveled as much as we could to all these different food places. And we would I mean, I know that people like rate stuff or whatever, but that wasn't really our goal. It wasn't really to rate it so much. It was like, oh, I'm going to try what I normally like, and then I want to try a new item, something that I normally wouldn't try. Or if it's a new location and it's known for something, so like, let me get the thing that I know I would like, just in general, like my favorite flavor type of thing, and then let me try this that it's known for. So like that's kind of the goal was to like try new food and give business to things that, were like self-owned businesses, or small businesses in general. So that's the thing that we like to do. And that's persisted, especially for me. Definitely anytime I've traveled in the Navy or went other places, like even when I was stationed at NAS Lemoore, like I found a couple different like sushi places with like specialty tea. And I definitely told, my friends about like, oh, if you ever come through here, if you're ever traveling California, you come through here, this is the place to go. When I was visiting family in Spokane years back, like I would go to a certain place and be like, oh, hey, I found something here. I think you would like this. And so So I do that a lot. I'll be like, "Oh, hey, this is like I think you would enjoy this. This is, something that I tried out." And in my location now, I found a few places that are really awesome. So I've told, friends like, "Oh, if you ever come to visit, this is a place that you might want to try. It's got like great tea or it's got great coffee. This one has really good sushi, so yeah, that's something that that mentality of trying new things, but also keeping something that we like and enjoy or our favorite flavors. Um, I mean, definitely where I'm at now, they don't have huckleberry. Um, but huckleberry is my favorite fruit. So like Pacific Northwest or, just on that side, huckleberry, definitely. If I could find anything huckleberry flavored, absolutely. But the second is strawberry and lemon. They are tied as my favorite for a second. So anytime I'm getting something that has fruit or has some sort of pastry or whatever that would incorporate one of those, strawberries and lemons, absolutely hands down. But then I would try a new item. I also really love chocolate. Like I'm willing to try like chocolate stuff if it's got chocolate and like nuts like walnuts or almonds or hazelnuts or whatever, mind you, I despise Nutella. I absolutely despise Nutella. Like it's the way that hazelnut and chocolate are blended together. It's the way that the flavors are blended. I do not like it. Like I am fine with chocolate having the actual hazelnut pieces or whatever in it, but like not actually blended. I don't know what it is, but Nutella's the way it's blended. I just no, not at all, none. It's disgusting to me. um, but like if it's chocolate and it's got like nuts sprinkled on it or inside a pastry or whatever, like with the chocolate, but not like blended together, but it's like chopped up pieces of nuts or whatever like that. That's fine. I'm totally cool with that. So like I will definitely try anything that has chocolate and nuts and stuff or like strawberries and lemons. I'm fine with like orange and lime too. I'm fine with most citrus. I'm allergic to pineapple, so I can't have pineapple. I don't know what it is about pineapple. If I look at ingredients for stuff on a label or whatever, if it says citric acid, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. But if it specifically says pineapple in any way, then I can't have it. Which a lot of barbecue sauces, not just teriyaki sauce, but barbecue sauces also have pineapple. And so I have to be very careful. That's why I couldn't have I can't remember the labels now, the brands, but there's certain beef jerky that I can never have because they incorporate pineapple in the flavoring. So it's bad. I also do have to be careful when it comes to certain foods, because I am allergic to mollusks. So like oysters, clams, any kind of mollusk, like the hard shell. If it is lobster, shrimp, crab, I'm good to go. Like I can eat that stuff like nobody's business as much as I want. I'm totally fine. Um, Apparently not my parents. Like apparently they're both allergic to iodine. I am not though, so I don't know. Like but I am allergic to mollusks. Anything to do with like the hard shell or something that you have to pry open, cannot have. I so like if things have oyster sauce in it, I can't have that. So I have to be very careful. So like anytime we went out for sushi, like I had to be careful to make sure that I'm only eating certain kinds like fish or things like crab, lobster, shrimp. That's totally fine. Um, but anything that might have like oyster sauce or any kind of things that might have clams or I think scallops too. It's just I have to be very careful. So I did get sick eating scallops once. I had like one tiny bite and I ended up in the hospital. So it's like, oh, okay. Pineapple's the same. Like it's kind of like having severe food poisoning mixed with severe flu-like symptoms at the same time with a bit of throat closing. It's really horrible. It does not feel good at all. Um, so yeah, I do have to be careful with some foods. And I do have to be careful with some Asian dishes that might incorporate like oyster sauce or clams or something like that. Um, so I have to be careful. But yeah, I mean, like I do pay attention pretty closely to what I'm eating and where I'm going. And if they do have something online that I can look at, like the ingredients or whatever, but otherwise I may just ask like, oh, what kind of like ingredients are this? So for instance, my friends and I from community college, we went to a hole in the wall Japanese place that typically does not cater to anyone who's not Japanese. Actually, I don't know how we got through the front door. Actually, I'm amazed because afterwards, one of my friends was like, I'm amazed we even got through the front door because apparently this is for like Japanese only people. I was like, oh, really? They're like, yeah, apparently that's the atmosphere. I don't know how we got in because we're like totally white. And I was like, we were just looking for a restaurant to like have some food because we were hungry. And I'm just like, okay. I guess they thought we were cool enough or something. I don't know. Um, but we had okonomiyaki there. I love okonomiyaki. It's one of my favorite. Like I love takoyaki as well. Um, so like street food takoyaki is really good. I love that so much. Um, but yeah, so we had some okonomiyaki and I had to be very careful. I think I asked for like I think it was like pork or something like that. I had to like substitute because there was like a seafood one, but I think it has some sort of oyster sauce thing or whatever. Like I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was like, I just to be on the safe side. So I asked them like, can you please substitute this for like pork or whatever instead of the seafood thing, just to be on the safe side. And they graciously did. I'm amazed because like finding out later that mostly white people don't go there. I'm like, oh, okay. So I felt bad afterwards. I was like, oh no, did I insult someone? like, like it's rated as because it's like it was like blacked out door and there's like hardly any lettering, and apparently it's that is done on purpose. Like they don't want a bunch of people to just walk in. And we just stumbled upon it. Like we weren't looking for it or anything. We just stumbled upon it. But then when later one of my friends was like looking up and was like, "Oh, apparently this is kind of known in this area for like non-white people." I was like, "Okay, how did we get in there?" I don't know. Um, but yeah, as we had okonomiyaki there. I don't remember what we went for like boba or dessert or something afterwards. I don't even remember where that location is. I can't even tell you. We were just moseying around. But yeah, anytime I feel like I go to a place, I always feel bad asking to substitute something, even if it's like for my health and safety. I feel bad. I feel bad about asking because I'm just like, I want you to be able to make it the way it's supposed to be made, but I also have to be careful because I have food allergies. But I still feel bad afterwards. It doesn't matter if it's because I want to live, I still feel bad. So I felt bad afterwards asking them to substitute, but they did. They substituted like, okay, that's fine, we can do that, and so they did, and it was really delicious. Um, I don't think I could ever make okonomiyaki at home. I think I would botch it so badly. I don't know. I will have to try to look it up. There's other like dishes too that I want to try making. Um, but I feel like I would botch it just because like I'm decent at cooking, I'm terrible at baking. I'm absolutely awful at baking. I think so anyway. There was like a recipe for like some sort of um, lemon like muffins or something like that. And it was like some sort of like unofficial recipe for Game of Thrones or whatever. It was like a lemon muffiny kind of pastry or whatever. I made those really well. I practiced a lot. So I made those. They're really tasty. I'm gonna have to look that up again because they're pretty tasty. Um, and like I don't yeah, I think the closest I can do to like baking is my pancakes. Like I don't have the time to make things from scratch. So it's like it's the box mix. But I add cinnamon and nutmeg to my pancakes. And then what I use is I use like vegetable or canola oil to crisp it on the sides. So that's what I use. Like I don't put like butter or spray or anything like that. I use like just a little bit of either vegetable or canola oil. And so that kind of like crisps it around the edges and it's still fluffy in the middle. Because I mix it really well before. So it's thick enough, but it's got a fluffy kind of texture afterwards. And then once it's cooled off a little bit, I add a little bit of butter and then I put syrup on it. So the boys really love that. They love that. I in the past, um, I've done that with other kind of like mixes. So like if I did a kind of muffin mix, um, I've done like chocolate and I've also done blueberry muffin mix, just stuff that I got from the store because I did not have time to do everything from scratch. So it was kind of like a slapdash sort of thing. Um, but I've done that and would add like cinnamon nutmeg to it. So it has a little bit of that, you know, I don't know. It's not like really like spice or anything, but it's mm, seasoned. I don't know. Um, but yeah, they enjoyed that. So I like that. And then I've done that with cookies in the past, where I've made cookies with friends and stuff. And I'm really good at making soups. Really good at making anything that's soup based. Um, whether it's like ramen spaghetti or other kinds of noodles, and then like soup in general, like the soup base is always very flavorful. So that's like those are the kind of things that I like to make at home, and I like to make recipes that, would be similar kind of setup. Um but I'm not confident that I would really do that well with some of the recipes that I want to make. Especially from anything that's Japanese or Korean, I don't think I could. I could try, but I don't know how well I'll do. Um, but I also, I've been told by my friends that I experiment a lot, and sometimes something will taste like really good, but it won't taste the same if I do it a second time because I'm just experimenting. I'm just like figuring out what kind of flavor profile I want this to be. And so any soup that I make, there will never be an exact copy of it. I do not write any of that stuff down. um, but I like trying different things too at restaurants. So not just like the sushi hopping or the tea hopping or whatever. Sometimes I would go to a place just to try a dish that has flavors that I think I would enjoy, and then if it's something that I really would enjoy, or I feel like, "Oh, I feel like if I made" excuse me, "something like this at home, but with, like, an added this or that," then I might replicate similar flavors in a dish that I have at home. Um, and it might be like either rice based or it might be like ramen based or something. But I would incorporate the flavors that I tried in a dish in a restaurant, but with something else added that I would like. So sometimes I'll go to places just to try the flavors and just to try to like the combination of some things, just be like, would I like this or would I not? And if it is something I would like, maybe I can incorporate something like that into my cooking at home. So I also do like fried rice and stuff, but I don't do fried rice the way that I think a lot of people see fried rice. Like there's no peas. I absolutely despise green peas. They're disgusting to me. I cannot do it. And if there are carrots, that's fine. I don't like them to be too crunchy though. But I do love putting cabbage in a lot of stuff. Like I love kimchi. I love kimchi so much. I would prefer it cold, but if I had like a kimchi stew, I had kimchi in it, like that would be fine. But like just like if I'm doing a fried rice thing or whatever, there are no peas. They're not allowed. Not allowed in any way. I'll do other veggies. Peas are not allowed. But yeah, so it's I started doing that where I try different dishes and stuff and try like experimenting with flavors. I started doing that in community college with my friends. Most of the time when we went out to eat, it wasn't like sushi hopping or tea hopping or whatever, because those are like the specific special occasions. But sometimes after a class or whatever, or on the weekend, we'd be like, "Hey, do you just want to go and do something?" And oh, we happen to be in this area. Is there anything to eat? And we would literally just stumble upon places. And that was the best thing to do because you'd find a great place to eat at with good food. Sometimes it was pretty cheap. Sometimes it might be a little more expensive than we anticipated. But those were always the best ways to discover food, was just literally stumbling upon it, because it's like we just happen to be in this area. Is there a food place that maybe we'd try? We also would do like pizza and stuff and curry. Like we enjoyed like curry dishes and pizza. We would try, like pizza and burgers and stuff like that, and we would try pasta dishes too. Like it wasn't strictly like sushi or Japanese, or tea places or whatever. Like we went to a lot of, and Thai, and I don't think we went to anywhere that was Indian. We went to Vietnamese places for some soups and for pho. Like I really enjoy pho. It's really good. Um but I don't think because I don't think we really had an Indian place near us. We would have tried it though if we did. Just because. And there were some like a couple Chinese places too that we went to. But I mean, we also had Mitsuwa down in San Diego. So I mean that we definitely went to Mitsuwa a lot. Because it was right there. Um or we went to Japantown or whatever. So it's like in LA. So it's like I mean, we were taking Japanese class together, so it makes sense. But we did try other places. We did try other kinds of foods, other cultures and stuff. But yeah, that was the main thing that we did is we would just like stumble across places and be like, oh, let's try this. Like we're hungry, here we go. Is it something we can afford? Okay. Um, Sometimes the tea hopping also included just like boba tea. So I mean that's boba milk tea, which lavender is like my favorite. I mean lavender is one of my favorite like scents and flowers anyway, but like after the rose and plumeria. But I mean like I enjoy like jasmine too. Like I'll have jasmine green tea or green tea by itself, but or matcha by itself. But if there was an option for, boba milk tea and there was lavender, that's the one. That's mine. Um, I was willing to try other flavors. So if we went to like a specific spot, I've tried lychee, I've tried chocolate, I've tried strawberry, I've tried did I try orange? I don't think I tried orange. Someone I know tried orange and they didn't really like it. So it was like one of those orange popsicle kind of like vibes to it, and they're like, I don't know if I like this. Um, there's so many others, and of course jasmine. Um, rose milk tea. I do like rose milk tea as well, but lavender is my top, so I definitely will go for that. Um, but yeah, it's definitely just getting the new drink today remind me of all that, of all those adventures, those food adventures that I went on with friends. That's like we went to a lot of other places and did a lot of other things, but that was kind of our thing. It was trying new foods in new places. We had our own favorite specific thing in that category, and then we would try a new thing. So it's like this is our thing, and then we wanted a new thing. And so that's just that was our mentality is like always try our favorite thing, wherever we go, but then try a new thing. Like that was the goal. So we could, broaden like our knowledge, our taste buds of all this stuff, and just find new things. And then of course, yeah, give business to these small businesses or businesses that weren't mainstream. Like like you go almost anywhere you can see like an Olive Garden or like a Chili's or Applebee's or something. So we wouldn't go to those kind of places all the time. No, we did go to Wendy's a lot. Not Wendy's. No, not Wendy's. Which one was it? Denny's. Oh my gosh. Why did I mix those two up? I'm tired. Maybe that's why. Not Wendy's, Denny's. We didn't go to Wendy's all the time. Um, but we would go to Denny's quite a bit. I mean, that was more of the at whatever our cosplaying crowd or whatever our um big party like sleepover crowd, like we did a lot of crazy stuff. Like we were always with the nerds, geeks, and the gamers and anime fans and stuff, and especially during convention time, like yeah, Denny's. Like that was just the thing. Um but other than that, we would try to go to places that weren't like mainstream or didn't have like a dozen locations or anything. Just that is the one location. This is the one restaurant of that. And so we try to bring business to those places and try their food. And I honestly, almost everywhere I've ever gone with my friends, like we enjoy the food there. It was always good. Well worth whatever we paid. And if we could, we tried to make sure that we tipped pretty well because that's how it is in America. But yeah, that's something that I still do. So if there's like a coffee or tea or like sushi or something, if I'm traveling, I'll tell the friends that I'm still in contact with, mostly our friend Chris and then my friend Sarah. So like I'll tell those two like, oh hey, I tried this thing at this location. I'm not like in the best of contact with them. Like I don't talk to them all the time. Like we all have our own lives going on, so we check in with each other every so often. And of course, on our birthdays, all of our birthdays are in May, so within like a week of each other too. Like mine's within a week of Sarah's exactly, and then Chris's is like 2 days after that. So like I'm 9 days older than him. So like we are May babies, and so like we do this round of happy birthdays with each other every year. Um, like we'll text each other like happy birthday, and like did I make it? It's midnight or something, if we're able to. But but yeah, and then but we try to check in every once in a while, and say like, hey, I saw this or I tried this food and I thought you would like it or something. So we let each other know. I do try to let people on my private Facebook know, because that's private for a reason, because it's to protect me and my kids, and so people don't know our exact location. Um, so like those are like the closest people, like friends and family. So like they know our location. So I will share, with both these friends are on my Facebook. Um, and Sarah's on my Instagram and stuff. But my Instagram is also private. My Threads is not. That's public. But Instagram and Facebook are private for me. So whenever I share that, I can actually do the location. I can actually say, okay, this location, this is the dish, and like, and so I'll take pictures and I'll share that with them, or for her specifically, or my friend Chris, like we'll text, like, so I'll text them and be like, hey, by the way, I tried this or whatever. And I honestly, I kind of started roping people in with this kind of mentality when I was in the Navy. And so in the Navy, I was like, yeah, I told them about the things that I did with sushi hopping and tea hopping with my friends in community college. And I said, this is the thing that I do. So that wherever I go, if I'm trying like a new sushi place or a new, Japanese restaurant place or some tea place or whatever, or some new coffee or something, um, like some cafe or whatever with some pastries, I let them know. So if they ever are on that location, like, oh, hey, this is something you like. And so some friends were doing that in other states, like, oh, if you ever go here, this is the place that I know you would like, or oh, hey, Poke, I know you would love this. And so, um, Pokey's my nickname from since middle school, by the way. It's some people even in the Navy started calling me that, but it's middle school, high school, and community college. Like those are like the three main places where people will call me Pokey. People don't like really do that now. So if I introduce myself, it's just like a shortened version of my first name. But anyway, so it's mostly the people who already call me that. So yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, Pokey, like you would love this," or "Hey, this is really something that I think you'd enjoy," or "Oh, I tried this. It's really good. You should try it whenever you visit me." And so so yeah, it's definitely I started roping people into that mentality of like, "Hey, whenever you go places, try out your one favorite flavor or whatever of something, and then try a new item and see if you like it. And if not, then you don't have to get it again. But then at least you tried your favorite item, right? So that's my way of building. And then I also try to share, like, especially with small business. Like I actually try to seek out small business, something that's like black owned business or LGBTQ plus. Like that's also something that we would try to do. Um, or just like a family owned kind of thing, or so like that's the kind of stuff that we would seek out. So we wouldn't do mainstream stuff. We wouldn't do the name brand kind of, as I said, like Olive Garden or whatever, or Applebee's or something, or like there are McDonald's everywhere, right? So we wouldn't do that kind of stuff. um Not a lot of the time. Of course, I did say we go to Denny's, but that was more like because it was open and we were like starving at 3 a.m. or whatever, because we were just doing something crazy in our big group of like gaming or cosplaying or con stuff or whatever. So, you know, but yeah, so we would literally go out of our way to find those places and to give them business and to try favorite foods and try something new. So I don't really do that with my boys that much because they are very particular about their food, much more than I am. Um, I have experimented many times over the years on different flavor profiles, different things, to find out what I like and don't like, and so I have a pretty good idea now in my, I mean, 39 this year, but like almost 40. So like I've had some decades on them, right? So I know myself a bit better. They're still only 11 and 7 years old, so I mean they're still figuring things out. Um, but the cool thing is that they are willing to try some things that I will get, like those like seaweed chips that I tried recently. Um, Oldest doesn't really like them again. Like he liked them, he doesn't like them. Sorry. And then he liked him again, and he doesn't like him. So it's so like he's kind of like he flip flopped a little, and then he's like, no, I don't want this anymore. So they're if I get them, they're for me now. Um, and the takoyaki ball like uh snack as well. That one he didn't really like. So there's like certain flavor stuff that I really like that they wouldn't. But like they're willing to try some things. Me, sometimes if it's something that I want to see if I still don't like it, like it's something that I would like to try, but I don't know if I'll like it. Like, I'm trying to think of an example, but like there might be like a food item where it's like, okay, maybe I just don't like it because of the texture, but I really like the flavor. So maybe I'll try it like 5 years down the line or something. Like, okay, I didn't like it because of this reason, but I liked it for this reason. Like, do I still not like that one thing about it? Maybe I can try it again. So I will do that kind of thing, where I'll retry something to see if I don't like it. Nutella is not in that category. I still despise it. Nope, I'm still at this point, I'm just gonna write it off because that is like the 3rd or 4th time in my life I tried it recently. I was like, "Nope, it's just it's disgusting to me. It's just ugh, no." So I'm just gonna write off that nope, forever and always will despise Nutella. But there are some things that maybe I used to not like and maybe I like now sort of thing. So, I try that. I try that, and so I've encouraged the boys to at least try something, if it may be a similar flavor to something that they liked before, or texture. Now, if it's the texture that they're fine with, but the flavor isn't, but it's something that you can add something to, I encourage them. So my oldest, like he loves adding a lot of seasoning to stuff. So like he'll get like the spaghetti and meatballs, like the Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs because it's cheap. Well, not really cheap, but it's cheap enough. It's something that you can, easily get and easily open and he'll eat it like hot or cold, like he'll just eat it. But he likes adding seasoning to it, like Greek seasoning, black pepper, chili powder. He doesn't really do garlic. My three main things is like salt, garlic, and ginger. Like those are my three main flavors that I put in a lot of stuff. But sometimes he'll add like cilantro or something, or he'll add he'll of course add some salt, but yeah, or sometimes he likes the chipotle or hot Mexican pepper um powder. So like we have some of that there, and I've got cumin that sometimes I'll use too, depending on if I want something, or if I don't want to have any of that, but I'll add a little bit of gochujang sauce. Well, not really sauce, but I'll add like the paste to whatever sauce I'm making. Because before I only had like those little like bottles of gochujang sauce. I finally got a container of gochujang paste. Like there was actually some available where I'm at. And I was like, yes, now I have the paste. This will last me so much longer. Um, it'll be so much easier to like just add the paste to whatever sauce I'm making. So oldest is not really sold on gochujang. I don't blame him. He doesn't like kimchi because he doesn't like veggies. He also really does not like cabbage, and he doesn't like the texture of some of the ingredients. So I don't blame him, but like the flavor isn't too bad for him because he likes spicy things. But that's the texture with that exact flavor he doesn't like. So like there are some things that, they will eat, but they'll add to. So there's also like instant mac and cheese. You can buy a little like microwavable like instant mac and cheese. So my youngest, he'll add like Greek seasoning and salt to that, and might add like a little bit of extra shredded cheese or something, to get it more cheesy or whatever. If I make like homemade mac and cheese like from the box, not it's not really like homemade, like it's not from scratch, but like I make a box or whatever. Typically I'll add a little bit of Greek seasoning and some salt and some extra cheese. So that's why the youngest likes that, because that's what I've done. Um, Not Italian, not like parsley or anything. No, Greek seasoning. A little bit of Greek seasoning and sea salt, and that's good to go. But yeah, so like they will like the texture, or maybe like for mac and cheese, like the cheese or whatever, but there's not much flavor, so they want to add flavor. So I've encouraged them to do that, where they will try that kind of stuff, and they will add stuff as needed for them, for their flavor profile, like something that they want to build up. Um, so they may not be willing to try certain things like me, but excuse me. In the past, I have gotten them to try certain dishes, and they told me like, "Nope, I don't like it." I'm like, "That's fine. You don't have to, if it's something that I'm eating." Oh my goodness. I should get some water. Water is good. You should hydrate. Don't be like me and not hydrate enough. That's not good. That's not good for your health. Um, but yeah. So I've gotten the boys to like try things like that I'm eating, and they're like, "Nope, I don't like it." Recently, in one of my shopping excursions for food, I've gotten some boneless pork chops, and so I was kind of pan frying that. I add a little bit of olive oil and some seasoning, and my oldest really likes that. So I think he likes black pepper and Greek seasoning. Me, like I will do like the garlic and the ginger and a little bit of salt, because those are just my three, things that I like to add to stuff, whether it's like ramen or soup or like even spaghetti. So I will do spaghetti noodles, like the whole wheat spaghetti noodles with Alfredo sauce, and I will add ginger and salt, and my youngest actually loves that. He doesn't like ginger in other things, but if it's the Alfredo sauce, he likes the ginger and the ginger seasoning included in that. So it's like, I don't know. So I've done that. I add a lot of garlic to my stuff. So whether it's like minced garlic, or like garlic with butter, or garlic seasoning, like I add a lot of butter, or like a lot of garlic to stuff. Not like a whole lot of butter, but like a lot of garlic to stuff, because I really like garlic. And then I also love ginger. I will eat like pickled ginger, like the stuff that you have for sushi. I'll just eat that straight. I will. I don't like ginger candy. I don't like ginger like other things. That's like yeah, I don't like like the hard candies or whatever. I don't like those. But yeah, if it's like pickled ginger, or ginger seasoning, or ginger added to a dish or whatever, or garlic, just yeah, I love that stuff. It's delicious. So, but yeah, I've been trying to incorporate that kind of stuff with the boys, and so they've tried some of it. And so they are particular about certain foods. But I've tried to have that mentality of, here's your favorite thing, here's something that you like, and maybe try something new. They won't always try something new. They may be like, nope, I do not want to at all. And I'll be like, okay, that's fine. Like I'm not gonna like pressure you or force you. I mean, I had to deal with that as a kid a lot. It's sometimes I had no choice, because I had a lot of food insecurity, because I didn't have a lot of food, depending on the time frame, especially when I was with my mom. Um, so if there was a meal presented to me, sometimes had no choice but to eat something, whether I liked it or not, just because it was food and I needed to eat. Um, but now having choices, now having the means, now stable enough, having the means to eat what I like and find out what I like. I've built up from there. So and the boys have never gone without. So even my worst time struggling as a single parent when I wasn't eating as much, they were always eating. I made sure that they were always taken care of. So they have always been able to have something. Um, and I hope that they never have to go without. I really hope so. I have no idea what the future holds, especially in America. But yeah, it definitely is definitely something that I've been trying to do for a long period of time. I mean, I can talk about food forever and love for food started when I was young, but I really attribute a lot of the trying new things mentality to those friends in community college because with us always going out and trying new things together, like that just was such an amazing experience. And I encourage people to, if you're able, I encourage you to do that, to try like going to places where, okay, you want to try a favorite dish that you like, but then trying something new. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But it's worth a shot because maybe you might find a new favorite, you know? And at the very least, especially again, if it's not mainstream, but it's like a family owned business, it's LGBTQ plus or black owned business, it's a different food experience, different culture, you know. So it's like it's you're giving to people and not corporations. And that is something that I did in community college and I continue to do as much as possible. I mean, my dad will send like gift cards to certain places like Chili's or something like that. That's fine. I mean, it's free food for us. Like I have no problem with that. Like it's or Burger King or something. It's like, okay, if you're gonna just give me this gift card with this amount on it for us to have a meal or two, yeah, that's reason we'll go. But I try to do, you know, places that aren't mainstream. I try to support smaller businesses, and local businesses too. Like it's not very close to the farmers market where I'm at. There used to be a farmers market stand right down the street from me. It hasn't been there for like almost 3 years now, I think. Like I don't know what happened, but they're not there anymore. So the closest is pretty far. But if I can, I try to do local in pretty much anything. I did find a new like bakery, well, new to me, but it's a bakery that's not too far. And that's local. It's local owned. It's not like a mainstream place or whatever. Um, by the way, like okay, so I guess Starbucks had done like a matcha lavender or whatever, and I love matcha. I prefer it by itself. But someone said lavender. I'm not going to Starbucks. I don't care how much I would want to try that. But they happen to do their own version at the bakery that's near me. I was so ecstatic. You have no idea. Like I was like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are doing a matcha with lavender? You're doing a matcha with lavender." Yay, I come here anyway. So yes. So I tried it and it was so good. It was so delicious. And I'm like, I betcha if I were to go to Starbucks, that bakeries would be way better than Starbucks because Starbucks is not that great. I've worked there. It's not that great. I'm telling you, it's not. It's like really, really expensive. It's I mean, the local bakery, yeah, there's some prices that might be a bit more expensive versus like if you go to Walmart for like, you know, a couple donuts there or something. But these are like handcrafted, like this is like by these people, made by these bakers. I mean, not that like people don't bake in a Walmart like bakery or anything. Just this is like a small business. So it's not like a corporation kind of thing. So I'm trying to give money there. But yeah, I was happy recently, like a couple weeks, 3 weeks ago. I think it's 3 weeks ago, two and a half. Anyway, it was sometime last month, and I went in there to get like a pastry or something, and to get like they have bread of the day, so I went and got bread of the day. I think it was like honey wheat or whatever, and it was really good. And so I asked them, you know, can you please slice that up for me? And said, yeah, okay. And then I happened to look down and I saw matcha lavender, and I was like, I need to try this. So I tried it hot. Usually teas I will try hot first. and then I'll try cold. Because I'll see if this is a tea that I would like hot or cold. I typically like to lean towards teas that I could enjoy both hot and cold because I will sometimes forget that I have a drink and it might go cold if it started out hot. So, it's if it's a tea that I would only like hot, I will generally not try to drink it often because I'm like, if I'm running around or doing something where I put it on a desk and I totally forget about it, and then I'm not going to want to drink it because it's cold. So I'm not going to do that with those kind of drinks. So I definitely I try to lean towards flavors or kinds of drinks or foods or whatever that if it's something that I could also enjoy cold, not just hot, if it starts out hot, then that's where I'm going to, go towards. But yeah, so it did start out hot and it was really delicious. I had almost drunk all of it before I even got home. It wasn't like too big. It was, it's I guess it was be considered like a medium or a grande, whatever you want to say, but like medium cup. But then I put it on my counter when we got home because I was with my youngest at the time, and I forgot about it as I do. And then I picked it up and it was a little bit cooler, not completely cold, but cooler, and it still tasted good. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. So this is a drink that I can get from them in the future, and I can have it hot or cold, and it'll be great. That's how I am with coffee, though. I can drink it hot or cold. Actually, I will make an entire 12-cup pot for myself, and anything that I may have 1 or 2 cups of coffee if I brew it like in the morning. And then I have a huge cup like that I will pour the rest of the coffee in once it cools down. And I just put that in the fridge and I chill it. And then that's my chilled coffee the next day. So I never waste any of it. Um, or sometimes I will take the leftover coffee once it's cooled down and I will pour it in the silicone ice cube tray. So now I have like coffee ice cubes. So then the next day I'll brew another pot and then have the leftover to put in chilled. So then I will have chilled and coffee cubes. So that is how I make sure that I am not wasting any. Because it's just me in the house that's making coffee, but I'm not going to make like 4 cups or whatever. Like that's so small. That's such a small amount. Like no, I'm going to make a full pot of coffee. Okay. And I'm not going to buy one of those machines where it's the tiny little pot. No, because I'm going to want more than that. I'm going to want at least a couple cups of coffee. And by cups, I mean like more than 12 ounces. It's going to be at least like 24 ounces or more in a sitting. So like I'm going to want quite a bit of coffee. So I'll drink at least half a pot. So it makes no sense to me to buy one of those smaller kinds of like just 12 ounce, whatever, just whatever ounce of coffee because I'm the only one consuming it. No, no, no. I'm going to do a whole pot of coffee. And then whatever's left over, I will chill or do an ice cubes or whatever. So then I could just have iced coffee later. That's fine. And I can drink coffee with or without creamer. That's something I found out later. I used to have like sugar and creamer every single time, but I've cut out sugar from like added sugar from like teas and coffees, which has made me a lot healthier overall because my doctor said you should do this. So I did. But yeah, I found out that like, no, actually, I'm fine with as long as it's dark roast. Because if it's medium roast, then I have to add at least a little creamer because I like dark roast. I will drink straight like 24 ounce of like espresso. Okay. Like I will have a whole pot made of nothing but espresso. Okay. I love dark roast. I love the darkest roast you can do. I love it. So yeah, I found that out over the years too. Um, I found that out over the years of doing like the tea hopping, sushi hopping, and then like trying different cafes and stuff. So I I still had a little bit of sugar that I would add back then, years ago. Of course, my recent doctor of the last few years was like, "Hey, you should like try cutting out sugar from your coffee or tea," which I don't really add sugar to tea. I add some honey to most of my teas, but not sugar. Um, but to my coffee, yeah, I used to have sugar. So I started to not have sugar and just add a little bit of creamer. And I do prefer like the because it's what's in the store is like hazelnut creamer or sugar-free hazelnut creamer. But honestly, you know those little like tiny little cup things of creamer, like half and half or whatever that are typically found in most cafe places. A couple of those in my coffee, I'm fine. Or I can just drink it straight. It can just be straight dark roast. That's fine. And the same with like iced coffee. So whatever iced coffee you put in front of me, if they don't have creamer, I'm totally fine going without it. I will just drink it straight. It's fine. So I found that out over the years, finding that like I could just have this straight. I don't even have to add all this extra stuff, and it's still good to me because it's caffeine. It's delicious and it's caffeine, so it works. So I'm I'm not fussy when it comes to that kind of stuff. Um, but I know that there are some people who have to have their drink a certain way or their tea a certain way, or like that's I get it. I get it. But that's something that over time I have found out about myself. I'm like, "Oh, I don't have to have all this extra stuff. I can just drink it straight." Um, I think the first time happened actually in a Denny's because I asked for coffee and for whatever reason there was no creamer and I didn't want to put just straight sugar in there. So I just drank it straight. I was like, "Oh, this isn't half bad. I could just drink it without creamer or sugar." Hmm. And then a couple years after that is when my doctor said I should cut back on the added sugar. So anyway, this has been a very long video of me talking mostly about food. Um, but yeah, I think I should definitely have more of these videos where I'm talking just about the things that I really enjoy. Um, Definitely has been some heavier topics lately. There is a video I want to do about a certain topic, but I'm going to wait for like I'm going to do another video with that. I'm not going to do it now because it's dinner time and I'm hungry. Again, like we didn't have that much for lunch. We went out to the event and we had some food there, but it wasn't like a full on course meal or something like that. It was just like a something you get at a food truck sort of thing, and then it wasn't like really huge. Also because it was mostly expensive, so I didn't want to spend too much money. So I didn't get too much for myself. Just I got some like pork dumplings and I got that Thai milk tea with boba. Sorry. It's so hard not to do this because it's just there. That's the thing too. This is very comfortable. I like this. This is very comfortable. I've been wearing this the entire time. Anyway, I will talk to you later. Bye.